So my name is Julie Pache, and I moved to Austin a number of years ago. I grew up in Michigan, and then we were looking around for some place to live. We knew we wanted to live in kind of a mid-sized city that was liberal, that had a lot going on. So Austin, of course, has the university and it's the capital. And we also wanted someplace, having grown up in Michigan, we wanted someplace that was not cold and snowy all winter long. So after we moved here, we lived here for a couple of years, and I think one day I was thinking it would be nice to go to church again. And I went to a church in the neighborhood, and it had one of those sermons where the minister was talking a lot about all those people out there. It was kind of like all those sinners out there and how good all of us in here are. And I thought to myself, okay, so that's not for me. And then I came to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin because I found it online, and I have no idea what I searched on. I don't remember. But I got to the church's website and I read through the 7 Unitarian Universalist principles, and they really resonated with me. I thought they struck me as being so meaningful, and if I was going to try to write something like that, it would never sound as good, but maybe it would be something quite similar. We also have a listing of 6 different sources, and I thought that those were valuable too. But one of the ones that struck me was the first one, which is the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And then also that one of the principles is a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And I think that that resonated with me, particularly this idea that that's what we should be doing with our lives, that we are on a journey here where we're all constantly looking for truth and meaning. And I think that that's what I value about going to church every Sunday, is that it's an opportunity to take that time out of the work week and to get input on some different topic. It might be something that I'm not thinking about at all. Kind of get out of my own head where I might be thinking too much about work or things I have to do or calls I have to make. I like having this additional input from someone else. And I also really value the community that we're able to build at First UU. And I think that that's something that's really valuable in our lives, is to have that community of support. And I think part of the ways of building that community is for each of us to become involved, for each of us to do what we can do. I went to First UU Church of Austin for a number of years, and when I was there I would always make a contribution. I'd buy check and put it during the offertory, and I felt like I was making a pretty generous contribution when I was there. So it took me a number of years. I was basically a friend of First UU for a long time, and I kind of had the idea that it didn't really matter if you were a member or not. So I would just go to church on Sundays when I felt like it, and I was always happy to make a contribution. Our minister, Meg Barnhouse, started a Path to Membership class, and one of the things she said was, if this is your spiritual home, you might want to check out this class. And it struck me that I didn't have any other spiritual home. So this was my spiritual home. And I went to the class, and then I joined, officially became a member. So one of the things I've done in terms of supporting the church financially is working on the stewardship committee and helping to organize that effort, which usually takes place in the fall. As part of that process, I've met with various members of the church and talked to them about what First UU means to them and why they give, and I have heard some of the most incredible stories. I've heard about how people are living out their values in their lives and the contributions they're making to our community, not just the First UU community, I mean the city of Austin, really. And some of those stories are the kind that come back to you. They keep coming back to me. I think about them again and again, like as you're driving down the street one day, it pops back into my head. And I think that we are lucky to have such a wonderful community of people that are really trying to make a difference in their own way. That's one of the things I love about attending First UU is I see people that I know and I love to say hi to them. And I also see a lot of people every Sunday because we are fairly large. There's always a lot of people that you don't know, and you don't know who you might sit down next to at coffee hour and what you might learn. That's a really enjoyable part of being a part of First UU.